Hey there and happy Friday. So I was hoping to come to you guys yesterday with some great ideas, had everything all set up, and my youngest granddaughter got dropped off not feeling well, and so just snuggled with her, and then she did fall asleep, and then you just can't trust little ones. Like, are they going to stay sleeping? Could I do a video? What if she wakes up crying and I'm doing a live? All of that kind of stuff. So I thought, you know what? I'll wait till today. And because of that, I'm going to give you guys a double feature. So it's going to be worth your wait. The Floral spray embossing folder is amazing. It's been out of stock. It's back in. I had told people looking at Stampin' Up's forecast, it's supposed to be back in stock the week of August 3rd. So I'm so happy it came back in like a couple weeks early. Hello there, Lynette. So I'm going to make you two very similar cards here. Hopefully you can see them on, I'll turn the camera around and make them so you'll see them, but I'm very excited about that just because it's so simple to use. You can literally make a beautiful card in just minutes. I know I say that with other things, but literally you can just make this in just minutes and change it up for your favorite colors and such. So let me get turned around so I can start making this for you. All right. Thanks, Lynette, for joining in. It's always good to see you pop on. All right. So try and get that zoomed in there. All right, so this is the first card that I'm going to make. It's basic beige on basic beige, and then kind of using that color in the middle, and for the sentiment I'm pairing it with the hydrangea hue, which you guys are loving that color. I think I've found that you guys found a favorite color out of the 5 in colors, but still I am loving all of them. So I'm going to, because they're so simple, I'm going to make both of these cards here for you. So let me start with the simpler one first. And before I get too far, I'm going to bring this, which I can almost like fold it. I'm going to bring this on. So this is the first card that I'm making, and this is all of the accessories and things to make it. My disclaimer for this is I did pull in some neutral matte dots, and I had picked up a bunch of these when they were on clearance, and I bring them to my classes. And so because of that, I thought if somebody's at a class making this card and really likes those, I can point them to my little stash of for sale items that I bring to my classes too, so I don't feel as bad. But we've got other things too that you can, or you might even have those in your stash as well. But this is the Floral spray embossing folder. I've done all of the embossing already ahead of time. You can see it's really big. I have my first card going this way and my second card going that way with it ran through. And what I like about it being large is, say that this was the focal point and it was a smaller folder. Well, by the time you would put a sentiment on, you'd be covering up that flower. So I tried to do my embossing each pass as I prepared for my classes. I made sure and kind of lined up the cardstock so that the flower would be still visible besides the sentiment and such. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, we get some really nice deep impressions with this 3D embossing folder, so that's really nice. So what I did is I did this in basic beige. As you can see, that is just gorgeous. I love the rich tone that basic beige gives us. Like if you wanted to do this for a wedding card, it'd be great. I'm doing thinking of you, so it makes for a really simple sympathy card. I'm always told by you guys at classes, like, please do one sympathy card or a thinking of you, because that is something that you always need. So I just cut basic beige 4 by 5 1/4, ran it through that embossing folder, and that's then ready to go. Here, I'm just going to actually need to slow this down a little bit. Otherwise, we all know what happens if we get going too fast with our adhesive, especially tape versus glue on these 3D embossing folders. Sometimes it wants to like peel back and get stuck in our runner. So I'm just going to center that. And then I thought crumb cake would be a good choice. I wanted something that was neutral also and just a little deeper color, but not too much. So crumb cake is a good choice with the basic beige if you're looking to do that. Now the die I used here is from, oops, hold on as I look this way. Okay, this die is from once again, the Scalloped Bloom dies. I've been using like last week's, or maybe it was even this week earlier. I used this for the Happy Birthday on the Cute as a Bug paper. And then I've been using this one, this little one for the notes. I've been using the leaves a ton, and just actually all of them. I'll just stop there. I've been using them all a lot. And this is today's here. So I've cut that out, and I'm going to be using it on both cards as well. So let me get the Thinking of You stamped out in here. Just going to set that aside, and then let me grab, since I'm stamping, I'm just going to do the inside. So the Thinking of You and the inside here, sometimes it's easier to read once I get it inked up to know if I've got it upside down or not. Both of my sentiments today are coming from the Phrases and Frames. I know I've been using this one a lot too. They've got wonderful sentiments for thinking of you, anniversary, birthday, things like that. So that's where that's coming from. And then I can just go ahead and put this together, whoops, on the inside of my card. Hi, Diane. Good to see you on here. And this is very vanilla. I thought that was a nice compliment to the basic beige, and that's cut 4 by 5 1/4. And now for the Thinking of You, I can just take some dimensionals here and pop that up with those and put that here kind of in the corner. And like I said, tone on tone, I love. It might look a little different, almost colored, as you can see, maybe in the video or not. It is basic beige, but just sometimes even embossing brings out different layers of the cardstock. So sometimes it'll look just a shade different, but it is the same, basic beige, basic beige. But like I said, I wanted the big flower to show, so you can see that. And then just reaching for some of these neutral matte dots, which recently retired. And if you want more of a color, like this might make it stand out more. Actually, I think I'll do this because my sample shows like the neutral tone on tone, which so far the card has been kind of that. So I'm just going to add about 3 of these here, like so. Thinking of You, so you can see that kind of matches in with that. These are probably more pecan pie. And then my sample shows more of the basic beige color of the neutral neutral matte dots there, as you can see. So just kind of spreading it out like that. Actually, I don't like them spread out that far. I'm going to see if yep, I did. I got the glue underneath. Sometimes if I move them right away, it just looks like it's too spread out. I think I like that. That's a little bit more eye appealing. There we go. As I saw this, I'm like, I don't like that. Okay, and I'm going to move on to my next card just because it is almost as simple, just adding some ribbon and changing the layout. And let me just clean off my stamps here quick because I'm going to be changing ink color. And so I want that to be clean. And just kind of show you another different look. So some of you might say, oh, I love it just like that. That's just, whoops, just my style. And some of you might say, I just need a little bit more to it. So now let me switch gears for you. And this is going to be this card with accessories in that hydrangea hue color. Yesterday I had somebody stop by and she's like, oh, I just love these new magnetic ink pads. So you can see it just like clicks like that. So easy to open. And I didn't struggle with our previous ones, I told her, until I got these. And now I'm like, man, I can't wait to get more in these new ink pads. So it's good to hear from other people too, because I don't know if it's just me sometimes and such. So for this card, I'm doing those same measurements with my basic colors here. So hydrangea hue opening this way this time. And I still cut this 4 by 5 1/4. But the difference is I'm taking a layer of basic beige and putting it that 1/8 inch in between. So it's gonna be kind of a tight layer here, like so and like so. And usually I do a 1/4 inch, but I just kind of wanted a little bit to show. And you can see I cut out my sentiment as a paper saving technique there before I put that on. So this is ready to go here. And then I'm going to put it on my card. I'm going to show you a little something too, a little tip that I have for ribbon here in a sec. There we go. I always, because it's just that skinnier mat, I just want to make sure that it's like even all the way across. All right, so we've got that. Hi there, Carol. Thanks for joining in. So now I'm going to put my ribbon. A lot of times, to me, I don't care if I put this on first and then have my ribbon going all the way around so that it shows in the middle. That doesn't bother me at all. But some people say, oh, I don't like the ribbon showing on the inside of my card, so they like to have it on here. So we're going to do that. And I'm also going to show you sometimes where I end up with just a sticky situation. But let me get this going here. I'm just going to tie. This is just going to be a knot, not a bow. Maybe that's why I like knots, because it says not a bow. No, I don't know. I'm just not the greatest at bows. Okay, let me grab my ribbon cutting scissor here. And I'm just going to do a little bit of an angle here and there. And then that's on there. Okay, so this is where I run into sticky situations sometimes. Is I will get my adhesive going here and here and here. And then what I like to do is leave enough of space from the ribbon to the edge so that I can put my adhesive along here. And I try and get to the edges. But what happens, and I'll put it on to show you here, and this again is a tighter fit. So I want to make sure, yep, that's all down good. What happens sometimes is this ribbon isn't really big or bulky, but do you have it sometimes where these still, because the ribbon's there, wants to kind of just pop up over time there? And what I do, even after the fact, obviously it'd be easier to do it before I put it on, but I'll just take especially with the Take Your Pick tools, it's so slick. I'll just take a mini glue dot here and just tuck that into that corner there, and it's just going to give more strength to that adhesive to just keep that down. And you don't have to do it like all the way along the edge. It's just these corners I find that just, whoops, that one just followed me right back out. It's just these corners sometimes that want to do that. There we go. And it's over time. So I'll get done, I'll love the card, and then all of a sudden, bloop and bloop. And I don't like it when that happens. So if you're like me and that happens, I want to just pass along that little tip to you. And then we can do some stamping here. So like I said, hydrangea hue for the win for this card. And same sentiments as my first one. Thinking of you from Phrases and Frames on that scalloped borders dies. Loving the size of this. My sister growing up loved chicken and a biscuit, so every time I see this shape, I don't know why, I think of chicken and a biscuit. And I just saw my sister today, and so I should tell her about this card and ask her if she thinks it looks like her favorite chicken and a biscuit. Yes, and I just wanted to have a brain fart and go, am I stamping the right orientation? Because my last card was the other way. Okay, so now I'm ready to add a few dimensionals here. And like I said, very easy ways you could, if you have favorite colors, just change out your cardstock, or if it's what you have. And I'm even thinking this embossing folder, especially when you see it maybe more in the neutral tone, but like when I see this, I think it would be so pretty with the new Barely Blush color, that light pink for wedding cards and Thinking of You cards. But then when I get to this one, I think, oh, this could be actually gorgeous for fall. Golden glow, maybe put some Cajun craze with it, and just, even though it's still floral, think how beautiful wedding flowers are for fall weddings. And I see this the floral spray embossing folder, and that's where my mind went today. It didn't right away when I got it, but it did, you know, as I start about thinking and planning for my fall classes and such. And then let's just actually put this on, and then I'll do my embellishments for this. Whoops. So this is my standard 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. And now for my embellishments for this, I feel like I've been using those 2026 through 2028 in color dots, and that would look great on here. But also I think just to add a little bit of like that cream color to coordinate with the basic beige and the very vanilla on the inside, I pulled out some antique pearls, and I'm just going to put some of those on my project. So I've got kind of a blank spot there. And then I'm just gonna kind of put a couple of the smaller ones up in there. And I think the antique pearls too are kind of the nicest finish for this type of card as well. So hopefully that gives you some inspiration there, thinking of you that way. And same sentiments, different colors, and then different layout that way. All right, so that's my inspiration for today. Like I said, very quick and easy, and mostly just to let you guys know that the Floral Spray embossing folder is back in, as well as the Flora and Fern embossing folder. I've been using that one a lot, and or is it Fern and Flora? Let me double check here, because some of you go right to the website to look and see what you can order. Hold on. Here we go. Fern and Flora 3D. So this one is also back in stock. It had been out for a while too. So they're both back in stock. But a lot of you have known too, like when you order and you see some things out and you're like, well, maybe it's going to be back in a couple days. Never feel like you're pestering me. You can always ask, because I do have a little inside scoop where I can look at our reports and see when products are supposed to be back in stock. So I know that you can just fill in your email. Like if you pull up a product and it says currently available, it automatically pops up that box so that you get that email. That works terrific. It does. And that's what let me know that these came back early. But sometimes you just want to know, like, when is that expected time too, in case you are waiting to place your order, or that way you know maybe it's going to be a while and you're going to go ahead and place the current order that you're working on too. So always let me know. And my plan is to be back here again for you guys on Monday with some more inspiration from Belle Harder. So have a good weekend and stay cool. Bye-bye.